Hello and welcome back to Monstrosities. I'm your host, Matt, and tonight is a very special live stream. Now, we all know that Godzilla is a global phenomenon, but I think oftentimes, especially here in the West, we oftentimes only think like in terms of, well, Japan and then the rest of the West. But he does have fans across the world, and that includes the Middle East. And recently, a good friend of mine, as well as the author of Behind the Kaiju Curtain, the one and Mr. Norman England, went to Saudi Arabia. What were you doing in Saudi Arabia?
Well, I can tell you, I never thought I would ever go to Saudi Arabia, but check that off my bucket list, so to speak. Anyway, always thank you, Matt, for having me on your show. It's fun. Always fun to talk to you. I have to first apologize a little bit since I got back. Whenever I got back, like 2 weeks ago, week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, I guess. Yeah, I've been like came back home, hit the ground working, and then this past weekend I was out Saturday. It's Monday morning here in Japan, and then yesterday I had an event where I I volunteer at the George A. Romero Foundation, so I'm kind of head of the Japan. I'm called the Japan ambassador. So we had a kind of event. Night of the Living Dead is going to have a 4K screening across Japan in like 2 weeks. So it was that was tied into that. My throat is killing me. I talked so much yesterday, and I got up this morning like, oh my God, I gotta talk. So my voice is maybe a little not on at full force, but I'll do my best. But anyway. And I wore my geek shirt just to try.
I know. I was commenting on that. It's a great shirt.
This actually was given to me. I used to teach subtitling at not teach. I would do lecturing on subtitle at some kind of school here, and one of my students gave this to me. Awesome. And it's a little warm, but I was considering in Saudi to wear this on stage. And that was I forgot to pull that out. Well, you'll see, I'll show some photos, but I got this incredible Odai Godzilla shirt. I showed it to you. It's the 84 poster painting, with Godzilla standing up with the lightning coming front and back. It was like, because, I wanted to wear like Godzilla, when I'm in Saudi. But anyway, why don't I... Yeah, so that's what I mean. If I'm a little scatterbrained today, please forgive me. And I'm really glad. Like I see, like Kim is here.
Yeah. Let's say hello to the chat room. A lot of people we got one and only Kaiju Kim.
Yeah, I'm really happy, and congratulations, Kim, on tying the knot.
Yes, Kim, congratulations on that.
And Kaiju Noir in the house. Better luck than me. What I've had, me and Miyako. When we finally do get married, it'll be my third marriage and final one. So I don't recommend multiple marriage partners because it's very emotionally draining. Yeah. But anyway, I mean, that's really great, and is Andres here?
Yes, Andres is here.
Yeah, I need to talk to. Is that what he calls himself? No, I don't.
Kaiju Noir.
I'm confused. I'm like kind of
confused. Yeah, you really are scatterbrained today. Yeah. Yeah, all your friends are here.
I've been meaning to talk to Andre since he returned back triumphantly back to the US of A. So anyway,
hold on real fast. I just want to say hello to everybody else. Besides your two friends of Kim and Andre.
Well, I don't know, like Doomzilla, I see. I'm very uncomfortable calling people hello, Titan of Water.
Yes, we got Paul Tackett in the chat.
Yeah, I know. I said hello to Paul.
We got Paul is always like, Dragon. I do want to hear you say hello to this guy.
Wait, I have to say my favorite line. Did your mother name you that, Mr. Zilla?
Good,
but that's actually a very cool icon that you have there. So I approve.
CG and Mark Rodriguez in the house. Mark. And I just wanted to say thank you everybody for the 20,000 sub. Congratulations! Thank you for supporting the channel. Appreciate it.
I noticed that today. I was like, "Ooh, he's getting up there in the world."
Yeah, doing
Well,
something right.
well, here I'm gonna put you to shame during my talk here. But anyway, let me explain how I wound up. Me and Miyako
Yes,
wound up
please do.
in Saudi Arabia. So we have a friend from Dubai in Japan, and actually I have a lot of Saudi friends in Japan. That like when I lived in America, I had I didn't know anybody from the Middle East. Moved to Japan, it's like, oh, yeah, everyone's been really cool and nice. We are friends with this guy named, well, his nickname is Nido, and he runs a company called Pro Retro X, and he's big how can I say, manga fan. So he's always like, he lives now in Kobe, and he's actually a licensed dentist in Kobe.
Nice.
And so he on kind of as side work, he involves himself with manga stuff, and yeah, very nice guy, very sweet guy. So he contacted us, and he's like, there's this event going on in Jeddah, and Jeddah, if you don't know, is not the capital of Saudi, but it's a city. I don't know, the way I've um explained it to myself is it's kind of like how Hong Kong was when the British controlled it, and like the Chinese would allow this kind of westernized city to exist with them. So Saudi, which is really a kingdom, it's not a democracy or anything, it's a kingdom. They got a king, they got princes, um, and they're very, religiously, they're very strict, place, but they've made Jeddah kind of a little pocket to be a little more westernized,
Hmm.
type of thing. So, um, of course, and so he told us, they're doing this event. It's running for like a month or two, called Anime Village, and it's the first type of like organized anime event ever in Saudi Arabia. And he's like, they've been asking me to get guests for them. And both, mangas. I mean, Miyako's a manga artist. You've done all this work with Godzilla and Death Note and other films like that. Would you guys be interested in going? And like, well, I don't know. I mean, thinking, yeah, I have Saudi friends here. They've always been super cool. I've worked on film shoots, with Saudi people. They've always been really super sweet. But I mean, we have such, I don't want to say bad blood, like the U.S. with the Middle East. I mean, these like endless wars going on, and even before, the Shah of Iran when I was a kid. I mean, we supported this guy who was really awful. So a little kind of nervous. I don't really have an image other than, all that negative press that, we have,
Right.
in war movies and stuff. And I'm like, I don't know. Should I really, are we going to be okay going there? And he's writing me, yeah, no, it'll be fine. You'll have security. I'm like, why do I need security? You know what I mean? Like, what, why would I need that? So we're just like, okay, let's just go for it,
Yeah.
So, um, yeah, anyway, then we had that live stream before, if anybody was there for that. So we get all our paperwork together. We've got to get a visa, and the people running the event were really great. I mean, they responded to us right away, and they're mostly the company running the event is based in Dubai. So everyone's English was spectacular. um they were all very kind in the emails, and here, and they got plane insurance for us. You have to get a visa, apply for a visa beforehand. But then they were like, oh yeah, I don't know if I mentioned this the last time, but when I was on, but they were like, um we think you need to have 6 months remaining on your passport. And I'm looking at my passport, they're good for 10 years. Oh, crap, mine ends in 4 months. I'm only going to be there for like 5 days, like it's I got 4 months on it. And then I look at the US embassy, which is in Jeddah, look on their website, for requirements for entering the country. And that was another thing. They have Saudi Arabia on a kind of an alert because they're at war with Yemen, which is like the country to the south of them. And like Yemen is like sending drones over to attack and stuff. And it's like, is
Yeah.
our plane going to get shot down or something, like this? And they have a thing on the website, like for Saudi Arabia, it's like reconsider travel. So that was another thing, like, should I really go, to this thing? But anyway, so then also looking on the website, it says, we recommend you have 6 months. And I'm like, well, does that mean I need 6 months or I don't? I mean, what does recommend mean, And I
Right.
call the US embassy here, and they're like, they look at the website and they're like, oh yeah, that's weird. I mean, what does it mean? So then I wrote to the US embassy, they wrote me right back and they're like, you need to have 6 months. And that's why when I was on the last time when I went to Osaka, because I couldn't get an appointment in
Yeah.
Tokyo.
Yeah. You
So I
like
had to go
sped
to
over there.
Osaka to get what they call a temporary emergency passport, which is only good for a year. And so anyway, but that was great too, because the hosts over there paid for my trip to Osaka and to take care of all of this. So I got a 1 day in Osaka and the Kyoto Museum, which I was on your show last time
Yeah.
talking. But anyway, what was so we get to the airport, and I got this emergency passport, and let me tell you, that was havoc wherever I went. I'm at Narita, and going to check in, and I show my passport, and it's like, what is this? It has no chip in it, has no electronic chip in it. I'm like, it's called an emergency luckily, smart, I brought my old passport with me, you know. And then so another guy, so I got one guy looking at my passport and he's confused. Another guy notices that, comes over, and I like lean in, and the security guy comes running up like, is everything okay over here? And I'm like, man, don't even move, because I was at Narita one time going through, I don't know, some Japanese guy, like he looked like he was like 45, kind of Yakuza guy. They just nabbed this guy. I've never seen anything like it at an airport. It's like in Japanese, like, let me go. And they got security guards. They just dragged this guy out. I'm like, I don't want to be that guy. So I had that incident, but went through. And then when I got to, we had to go. I'm going to show some photos too, and I'm going to talk about the event and stuff like that. But I want to say, so like first, there's no direct flight from Tokyo to Jeddah. So we had to go to this country called Doha. And Doha has some big ass fancy airport over there, which didn't really blow me away. I've been in Korea. They've got this airport that is incredible. They got like waterfalls, forests, gyms, places to sleep, free showers, it's like 2 miles long. I mean, it was the most incredible airport. I'm like, I don't want to even go anywhere. I'll just stay in this airport, But anyway, so we go to Doha, transfer for another flight, and we fly over Saudi. It was like 2.5 hours, and then we get to Jeddah. And then going into Jeddah is go in and go up, show my passport, and the woman there is just like staring at this thing, and now I'm in Saudi, so it's like at the passport counter, it's all women. And I noticed that a lot of security people in Saudi, they're all women, and they're all wear those niqab, the things with just the eyes on the thing. So I can't really, all I can see is this woman's eyes, and she's just like, she could hardly speak English. And I didn't even learn a word of Saudi, or Arabic, before I went over there. So, but anyway, she's like looking at this thing, and I'm like, it's an emergency passport, because she's like trying to run it through the thing, and nothing's coming up. Another woman next to her is like, I think she's saying it's fine, it's fine. She just stares at this thing for 5 minutes without saying anything. Then other people come over, and then I'm like, it's an emergency passport. I just got it. Here's my old passport. I had to get this 6 months. And then she stands up. She's like, come with me. She says in English. I'm like, what? Where am I going? You know what I mean? Where am I going? And we're walking, and Miyako, I'm like saying to Miyako, Miyako, go in to the airport. Go in, there's like a line here. We came in like this. So I'm like, Miyako, go into the airport. And Miyako's like, okay. She starts walking back towards the plane. I'm like, where are you going? Because now other people are like noticing, like, in the airport, go in. And then she's finally like, oh, okay. Because she had already checked in, gone through. They stamped her thing and she's walking out. I'm like, what? And I'm like, I'll be right back, I guess. So she takes me over, we're walking, and she doesn't even look at me. She just says to me, don't worry. It's like, okay, nice, And we go into this thing, and she's just like, there are chairs there, and she just goes, sit. Like, I'm like, okay. So I sat there, and then some security guards, like, so where are you from? I'm like, yeah, I'm from
Casual
Japan.
conversation,
I don't want to say I'm from America. I'm from Japan, even though America and Saudi are allies, I'm like,
Right.
but anyway, then she came out and fine. We go back up to the thing. She looked at my pass, she's just staring at my pass for like another 5 minutes. I'm like, man, I'm like the last person to get through, customs and everything. So,
it just figures the universe would throw that your way, just because I know how much you didn't enjoy that. It's just like the universe is just like, yeah, Norman's going to like this one. Here you go,
But no, I mean, it was, yeah, it was fun. So, I mean, it was a little like minor, like adventure thing, but, no, and then, as soon as we got in, there were people waiting for us, so I think it was the first time in my life, when guys had those signs up with your names on it, they had Nako's name on it. So they were like the really sweet guys, and then they drove us over to our hotel. We stayed at the Radisson Hotel in Jeddah. I'm like, okay, I'm in a Radisson Hotel, and we're right by the Red Sea. I'm like, I never thought I'm going to be by the Red Sea. I never expected in my life to ever go to the Middle East.
What kind of, I mean, you live in Tokyo, go into a city like Jeddah, like what's that like? I mean, is there much of a, just a shock kind of going there? Is it?
Well, why don't I do this? I'll just start running through some photos because I tried to organize some photos. I got home really late last night, and but anyway, why don't I throw on some photos, and I'll just run some stories by that way, so it makes it a little more visually interesting than, will this guy ever shut up? And I have to do the share screen, right? So
You do.
And I'm sharing my screen. Okay, yeah, like that. Okay, this one. So I mean, okay, I got a bunch of ridiculous photos, but this is over at Narita, and there was like nobody at the airport because Japan's really closed off. It's just starting to open, but this is when it's closed off, and we were leaving a little late-ish at night. I think our flight left like 1 a.m. or something like that.
Oh man.
But they had this like there's a bot cleaning thing, so I was like engaging it, trying to find out like if it would maneuver around me. So that's me fighting.
Is this Narita SOS?
This is Narita.
Norman and Zilla takes on the Kiryu cleaning.
Yeah, right. You see, and then by coincidence, this is my publisher Matthew from Hawaii.
Oh yeah.
We bumped into him at the airport. He was on his way to Cannes Film Festival. He just shot a very good short film.
That's really cool.
Which has been getting a lot of notice. I mean, Matthew is kind of a multi-talented guy, and he's on TV like once a week. He does a lot of stuff with Beat Takeshi,
cool.
So he like TV shows like that. And yeah, no, he's kind of like in Japanese, you say talento. So we were happy to like bump into Matthew, and just good luck in France. He's like, good luck in Saudi, so
that's awesome.
Anyway, so then here we are, going over there. And yeah, there's another thing. I mean, these like, they have all these like come to Japan, but there's like nobody there, these like with the woman in the kimono stuff. So just to show that. And we rode on Qatar, which is, yeah, I've never been on that airline before. So, and then when we were at the airport, they always have like this garbage, like see these like these like the samurai t-shirts. And the reason I'm putting this on, if you've seen my documentary, bringing Godzilla down to size. Satsuma wore this shirt. It didn't say samurai, but it just says, it's in Japanese, samurai. It's so like Satsuma, because he's always like, like if have you
Is
met
that? I
Satsuma?
mean, does that actually extend out to like the general populace? I know it's very popular for like tourists and stuff like that. I mean, Satsuma might be a
Yeah,
special
Satsuma's
case.
I've never seen a Japanese person
Okay,
or anything, but,
I figured as
but the
much,
other
but I
one, the
wanted to
first one
ask.
is like Ichiban. I mean,
Yeah,
these are like, in Japanese you say, what do you say? Ryokoshomuke. I mean, it's just tourist stuff, tourist stuff. So, and then of course they've got this Godzilla stuff, which I
oh yeah,
also, is garbage. But these are like Godzilla stuff for tourists.
I have some of that garbage.
Yeah, I figured so much. I'm not criticizing anyone for buying it, but I'm just like
Oh,
want
I
to
know.
point
I
my
was just
pals in here that
pointing.
this stuff is
No,
not
there's like
designed
a
for the Japanese Godzilla fans. This is
right. No,
designed
I
for
mean
foreign Godzilla
that's
fans.
the stuff that they marched out when they first opened the Godzilla store. It's fun. It's a
Yeah,
little. It's very touristy, but
yeah. But anyway, so yeah, this is the only Godzilla stuff they had at Narita Airport. So anyway, this is we were leaving. I guess we were leaving 10:30. So I'm sorry, going to Doha, which was like 12, 13 hours or something.
it's a long flight.
Here we are. And Miyako, I just got her that t-shirt when I was in Osaka. It's the creature from the Black Lagoon, but the illustration is from the Ben Cooper costume, for Halloween
Oh
costume
yeah,
from the
cool.
70s. And she absolutely loves it. So, and then this is interesting on the you have your little personal viewers there, and they have the Quran there. You can listen to people reading the Quran. So I did that for like an hour just
It's
to
always
kind of
such beautiful script, that writing.
the language is beautiful, and I didn't know. I mean, I learned so much on this trip, but no, it goes right to left rather than like English left to right, or
Yeah.
Japanese is like all over the place, but traditionally Japanese is up and down, top to bottom, right to left. So yeah, no, and they had like several of the options were to listen to, I guess, famous readers of the Quran reading passages and stuff. So yeah, I mean, I want to get with the program. So I was like, man, this is kind of cool. I never saw this before.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful. I mean, look at that. English is so lame. It's just like these like sharp edges and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, even like, yeah, I mean, I'm not saying English is lame. I'm just, you know what I
No,
mean?
no, I know, but you can have an aesthetic appreciation for the written language.
Right. Yeah, there you can see her shirt. This is over at that Doha airport. So they had all the the brand stores there around, and then outfits like this.
Did you pick one up for yourself?
I got one. I got that yellow one in the middle there.
I was going to say that really is your color.
And then this is at this Doha thing. They have this like giant bear
world?
thing as like, then it was so ridiculous. Like what, and I don't know. I
What
mean,
was it
still,
for?
I
Was
mean,
it just was it a promotional campaign for something, or
no, I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
just a
I
giant
was
bear?
tired, but I mean, let me tell you, I might be like disrespecting this airport, but nothing is worse than JFK. My hometown main airport. Like when we were there in 2018, we got like, I know that place is just garbage. JFK. I mean, it's
I'll have to ask
embarrassing.
Paige what the worst airport is that she's
Yeah,
been to.
yeah, Paige would know. I mean, but man, I mean, I've never seen an airport worse than JFK for a major hub in my limited experience with flying around. I mean, we had to wait. Like they used to have like 24-hour like buses to get into Manhattan, right? They stopped doing that. And now it ends at like 9, and we got in at 9:30. So we had to wait until, like 5 in the morning to get out of there, and they don't even have places to sit, like we found a chair. They're like, you got to move. We're cleaning. They closed every shop. Nothing's open. And it was like, we weren't the only ones or other people. I mean, we're just like sitting on the floor. I mean, Like, what? This is America, you
Yeah.
know? Whatever. But anyway, so,
God.
and then they had prayer rooms like for men and women, which I thought was really cool. Like, like,
Yeah.
whoa, I mean, and Miyako told me that at some of the big department stores in Tokyo, they've been opening prayer rooms for Muslim customers.
Interesting.
Yeah, I didn't know that. She told me, yeah, they've been opening them in Tokyo because we do have not, I mean, the foreign population in Japan is still like less than 2%,
Yeah.
but yeah, there is in that 2%, there's a growing, can I say, Middle Eastern population, so they've been, trying to accommodate them, which is fine. I saw this. They have like, and men and women are separate on those. So
Yeah.
anyway, this is getting to, well, I don't even know where this is. This might be Doha, but yeah, it was like this kind of thing. And then, yeah, this we're flying from Doha. I'm looking out the window. I'm like, what am I looking at? Doesn't it look
Jeez
like, I
Louise.
mean, like, look at that. It looks like some, animation, futuristic science fiction,
Yeah.
completely man-made, city. I'm like, whoa, what? Damn.
Wild.
Yeah, isn't that wild?
Yeah. That's
I'm
beautiful.
like, whoa. And then, I mean, flying, oh yeah, there's it again, like, so this looks like all reclaimed land, out there. Like in Tokyo, I know Odaiba is reclaimed land, like in Mega Giras, where they have that battle, by that weird,
Yeah.
the Fuji like building. That's Odaiba is all made from garbage. They just
Interesting.
collected all the garbage, built up Odaiba, and that's what
We really like Odaiba. We tend to go there every time we've gone. So
that's where the Gundam, the big Gundam thing is.
yeah, my favorite thing.
Flying over Saudi Arabia was like this is like mountain ranges with like a single road like cut through the thing. It was like, yeah, kind of unusual. Then this is like Jeddah from the plane was kind of like this, so
Really
yeah.
cool.
And then I don't know, coming to the airport, I see this, coming in for landing. I'm like, what is that plane? What is that?
I have no idea what that is.
I mean, is that like a military thing?
I don't know, but you're probably gonna get like some special black ops to come to my house and kill me now that you're saying
Yeah,
that.
that was my plan all along. Anyway, and then they got like the king and his princes up there on their thing. I thought that was cool. So anyway, you get to Jeddah. This is before I got my ass hauled into the detention room. But anyway, yeah, and there's where our driver's taken to our hotel, and it says, see Miyako Kojima on the thing, and I'm like, I want my name on that.
Yeah,
I've never
exactly.
had that,
Exactly. If you had just worn your yellow outfit, they probably would have done it,
So anyway, we got to the hotel. It was early in the morning on a Thursday, and the event was just Friday and Saturday, and their weekend, I didn't know, but I learned, is Fridays and Saturdays, not Saturday, Sundays. So we had really only Thursday to ourselves the day we arrived. So, we went right for breakfast right away, and they don't eat pork over there. So they had like, I mean, the buffet was great, but they had like beef turkey. And they have beef turkey and chicken turkey, and let me tell you, it doesn't cut it when you're a bacon fan. I mean,
Right.
I gave it the old college try, but
Yes.
so, and then and I had never had, but they had Arabic coffee, which was fantastic. It's not
How
like
does it
any
taste?
kind of coffee I've ever had before,
Really?
but both of us fell in love with it. It was like, man, this stuff was good. So we bought some the way home, and you can buy it in Tokyo. I think you can buy it anywhere, but we just never encountered it before.
Right.
It was really good. And yeah, so see the reception, we got the king and princes up there, and I'm just like, yeah, I mean, the hotel is like, like, damn, I mean, this is all like, it's a Radisson hotel,
Yeah.
This kind of thing. And they had a pool. I went swimming, I think, for the first time in like 30 years.
That's awesome.
So I was smart enough to bring my bathing suit, so.
From 30 years ago?
No, this is another story, but I did this tour up at Fukushima where we could go up by the power plants that had melted, from
Yeah.
the thing. I went up to a tour like a year before COVID started, and we stayed at this kind of sports hotel thing where the Olympic flame was started. When they do the runner and they pass the
Yeah.
flame down, and they had an Olympic sized pool in there, and they're like, yeah, you can go swimming. So I bought a new swimsuit. We get up there and they're like, oh, the pool's like closed. I mean, yeah, the pool's closed. Like, oh, great. So I got this brand new swimsuit. I'm like, oh, here's my chance
Yeah,
to
there's
break
your
in,
chance.
So I went swimming. But let me tell you, so this is back in the restaurant. Oh, and here's another thing. The country is no alcohol.
Yeah.
So they do have like these Budweiser zeros and stuff like this, but but it was fine. I mean, I'm not a big drinker anyway. I'll go out and have like a beer, 2 beers is usually my limit. But anyway, and then I don't know why I took this photo, but the plugs are completely ridiculous. I have to get adapters from the hotel, and then it's like they're one of these countries where they use 230, which I think is pretty dangerous if you accidentally touch it. Like in the
Yeah.
US and Japan is even weaker. I think it's 100 here. The US is 120 volts. So if you've been stupid enough as a kid to stick like a paper clip in those things or something like that, you're not going to die. In England is the same way. It's up at 230. So that was a little bit of we had like 3 adapters to get our computers plugged in, so it was kind of took time. And there's Miyako before going out. Very cute girl. Very, very cool. And here I am again with the royalty. So, okay, this is one folder. I'm going to quit out of this one.
Okay.
Yeah, I broke it down in folders because I hope that's interesting or anything like that.
No,
But
it's really cool. Jason
trying to,
Goldtreb says that black plane could be a model 747 used for training. That makes sense.
oh, really? So you're doing your homework there. So let me share this screen now. So this is like our view from our hotel,
Wow.
and there's a lot of construction going on in the area because they've got like Formula One racetrack over there, and they're building this Formula One track that's like between our hotel and the Red Sea. And I'm like, so we go out, it's like, I don't know, 11, or you can see on the clock there, it's like 20, like just about 15 to noon, and we're getting ready to leave. And I'm like, I want to touch the Red Sea. When in my life will I ever get to touch the Red Sea? We go outside, and let me tell you, it's like 105 degrees out.
Yeah.
It is really hot. And it's so humid, like this, I guess the water's evaporating from like I walk out of the hotel, right? The hotel's, nice and cool. Walk out and my glasses like fog up. And I don't think I've ever had that happen. It fogs up in the winter when you walk from the cold into the heat of your room or a building, you know what I mean? But I've never had it the other way where I walk out and it fogs up, and I'm like, man, my glasses are dripping wet, so we dry them off. We walk a little way, and I can't find all the roads they're all blocked off by construction things, so we can't get over to the Red Sea, and we're like melting outside. We're like, damn. I mean, like here,
Humidity's the freaking
this is
word.
where you can see the Red Sea right there. You see they're building the racetrack there. I want to get over there. I want to get to the beach. Denied. So and this is like Miyako. I mean, she's put this. She bought this here. Just in case she had to cover her hair or something. We weren't really sure. What the rules would be, but Jeddah is relaxed, so foreigners don't have to wear foreign women don't have to cover their head. I think if we go into other places, she would have to, and there's no touching. We can't hold hands. I think they would allow us to do that, but they recommend things like don't wear shorts, don't expose skin, don't wear crosses, other things. I think Jeddah is okay. Like I was saying earlier, like, they're trying to make it more like a foreign friendly place. But, Yeah, I mean, you can get arrested, if you bring in alcohol, you're caught with alcohol, you can go to jail, foreigners. I don't know who would be stupid enough. I mean, I believe you go to another country, you don't be like, well, in my country, it's like this. I mean, that's like, there's a great line in that movie. What's a Gregory Peck film? On the Beach.
Yep.
It's the
A good one.
anti-nuclear war film. I think it's 1960. And there's a great scene. It's like the whole world has been destroyed by, or radiation has killed everybody, and Australia is the last remaining country. And so there's this party, and this woman's going, yeah, my husband was an American, and everywhere we went, he would say, I am an American. And then she said, they finally killed him in one of those Asian countries, something like that. And I don't know, I just found it very kind of funny, but I'm not like, I believe you go over there, you don't respect the culture, whether you agree with the culture or not is another thing, but you don't respect, the culture there, because
Right.
what's the point? You're not going to
Yeah.
change them. You're not going to convert them to your way, or you're not going to inspire them. You know what I mean? I mean, if
Mhm.
they want to ask you what's it like in your country, then that's okay. But just to be arrogant to think, your culture is superior in a way, I don't, I've been living in Japan for 30 years, so I've kind of gotten over the American centric way of thinking. But I
Right.
think like most countries, everyone thinks that their own country is like the cat's meow. Matt.
I did not expect you to drop that one. That's
Yeah, but
that's
anyway, yeah. So I mean, just I know, the buildings like this, and we decided to walk over, and this is where we're getting to the event thing. So they've got this thing called City Walk, right? I guess it's like I would compare it to like actually like City Walk at Universal Studios,
yeah, that's what you were saying.
So we walk over there, and they've been making this like Japan area, and I didn't realize at the time, one, the anime thing had just, we were the first guests, us and a anime theme song singer named Eri Aoi were like,
Just
she
real
was the
quick,
main
this is
guest.
like a month-long event too, right?
It's like a month-long event. So
Yeah.
we were the first, and they were really like, everything was like right, getting, just getting things ready. So it was a little chaotic. But I have to say, even though it was kind of chaotic, I never saw anyone freak out. It wasn't like back home, people freak out. They freak out in Japan. I was so impressed and Saudi, even though I know everyone's running around like, headless chickens. I mean, if I had a question, they stopped. They listened to me. They listened to Norman's endless stories with a smile on their face. You
I envy them. I'm kidding.
know? But anyway, no, I mean, it was awesome, but anyway, so we go over there, and we don't really know what's going on. We didn't realize it was going to be this hot. This is at night. These photos are a little all over the place, and we discovered that most stuff happens at night because it's so hot in the day,
Yeah. Yeah.
and we left here. You look on the clock there, it's 8:20. We left here like 10:30. This is on that Thursday. We
Yeah.
left at 10:30, and there's families coming in with their kids. I'm like, what? It's 10:30. Like, they're just getting here. And then I asked people, and they're like, yeah, kids stay up all night. And when I was on stage the second night, they asked me my impressions, and I was like, man, when I was a kid back in the 60s, it was in bed by 9. I'm jealous of the Saudi kids, they're staying up all night and stuff. And everyone's like cracking up and laughing, at that. Anyway, so these are like photos of this City Walk area. I mean, check this out, like, yeah. So here we go.
That's
This guy's
really
got a
cool.
one-piece shirt, and this
Yeah.
anime thing, I mean, it was like a big thing. There's like these hardcore, anime fans in Saudi, and mangas are being released, and it's only getting bigger from here. The people that we met over there, there's some, they're doing translations. Um, it's like, I don't know how to describe it. It's like they don't know everything. Their knowledge of anime and manga and live action, especially, is very limited to just what's been released over there.
Right.
Sometimes this happens like the show Family Ties.
Yeah.
that is like hugely popular in Japan. I don't know why, but it's just like one of these shows the Japanese just like took to. I don't know
Yeah.
anybody in America that would watch that garbage, you know. But I don't know anybody in Japan who has not watched, you know, I think it's Family Ties, the one with the Olsen twins, the
Oh,
Olsen.
you're talking no, that's, Full House.
Oh, Full House, I'm sorry. Yeah, Full House. Full House is, like, super popular in Japan, are you kidding me? You know? But anyway, so it's that kind of thing, like, some shows just seem to, like, they get imported, and then everyone watches it, and it becomes bigger, big in Japan or big in Saudi, so to speak, So, anyway, yeah, so it was, like, kind of what they knew was a little, like, scattered all over the place,
Right.
So that was kind of interesting so anyway, there's this like Japan area, and it's like, oh, we get there, we're like walking around on Thursday night, and we're like, look at that I don't know if Matt, if you're able to read katakana or hiragana yet, but on the top, it says yokoso, which means, welcome in Japanese. And then on the bottom in katakana, it just says Japan, like, okay, Japan, and they got this little kind of like cheap Japan like thing going on, with the
Yeah,
architecture there and stuff. So yeah, walking around like, yeah, there it says on the top, it says City Walk, which is
that's
the name
really
of the
cool.
area. So this is this like Japan area over here. So the store with in the middle where it's the shutters are down, that's a udon there. Yeah, like, oh, and then my photos are jumping. This is in the Naruto area. Yeah, they had this like, this is
Neat.
inside this anime village. Sorry, my photos are a little all over the place, but they had these like this Naruto zone. They call them zones, So, are you a Naruto fan?
I'm not. I'm
Yeah,
not.
I
Are
don't
you?
really know other than the name. Apologies to
Um,
Naruto fans out there.
no, I remember you showed me the layout of this place. And I don't know, I don't think that there's any place online where we can show this, but just to describe to people, wasn't it like there's like a central hub room, right? And then like rooms like a almost a wheel almost like, right?
Yeah,
Where you
there's like the stages in them. It's like this circular thing, and there's a stage in the middle, and then they're like these,
and then
they call them
little
zones
pockets. Yeah.
around. Yeah, so I have photos that they have like Hello Kitty zone, Attack on Titan zone, um, Godzilla zone, which we'll be talking about later, and Pac-Man zone. And if you know the store Animate, it's a
Yes.
Japanese. They actually opened up a store there,
Oh, cool.
and it was like walking through, and the people were very friendly. But I'm like looking at this stuff, I can buy it back home. Don't even bother me. And I'm
Right.
not even going to buy it back home anyway. I don't
Right.
need Naruto statues in my room.
I
I
mean,
feel
you
like I
do,
could
but
look
it's another
forever.
conversation.
They're hidden. They're hidden from the camera view. But anyway, this is outside when you walk into like Anime Village. So this I should have shown this first, but yeah, they have these like revolving. I caught a photo with Shin Godzilla on it there. So
That's cool.
so yeah, here we are back in the Naruto zone. So and oh, here's like Animate. And there's the Pac-Man thing. I didn't actually go in there. We didn't really have a lot of time back in the Naruto. I don't know who
It's
these
still neat to see
characters
though.
are.
Like even though we don't know what they are, it's still a really neat setup. Um, and obviously they took a lot of time and care to do this stuff. Looks really cool.
Yeah, no, I mean, I mean, I have to say, like, they did cosplay, and the cosplay level was pretty low. But then I have to say to myself, well, I do live in Japan, where it's like the
Right.
highest level of cosplay, in the world. So, I mean, I give them a break. I mean, they're doing the best they can, and it's
Totally.
like kind of like this is like people that I met there, I mean, they were really happy. This never happened in Saudi before.
That's so
Oh,
cool.
yeah, it's really kind of, look at this Attack on Titan,
We
building.
have we have a couple of Attack on Titan fans in the house, including Valerie, who I just want to say hello to. So she'll be happy to see that.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was like, yeah, cool. And the Sanrio, the Hello Kitty, zone, which I didn't go into. You know? But back in Naruto, sorry, these are all over the place. So Naruto, yeah, no, I mean, I don't know these characters at all, but it was fun. You know, it's fun to look
Totally.
at this stuff, you know, and even if I'm not a fan of something, you know, like, you know me, I'm not really an Ultraman fan, but I mean, I'm a Godzilla fan, so I can't say, oh, you know, Ultraman's ridiculous. Godzilla is the thing. I mean, you have to have mutual respect.
Oh, of course.
You know what I
Of
mean?
course.
So, I mean, Godzilla's ridiculous too when you come down to it, you know, but
No, it's the most serious,
yeah,
well
you know
thought
what I
out thing
mean?
in history.
It's fun stuff, you know.
Yes, that
Don't
is
don't
true.
mess with my fun stuff. So I'm back at Attack on Titan. Sorry, these anyway, this is walking around the area out there. You know, it's like this place was huge, you know. I mean, we were
Yeah.
like
Is there
walking
like a
and walking.
waterfall right there?
Yeah, it's like water coming down.
It's gorgeous.
Like what? And look at this balloon. You could take these balloon rides, and they got these lights shining all over the place,
How cool.
and yeah, and I was enjoying, like, you know, the masks that the women have, even though, you know, I don't really agree with the policy, but I was told there that at least in Jeddah, it was an option. You know, you
Yeah.
didn't have to wear it, and other women would cover their hair. But you can see there's a woman without her hair covered. She might be a foreigner, though I don't know,
Mhm.
you know. But it really didn't make me feel uncomfortable in any way, you know. I mean, like I said, I had to respect their way, and I have to say this. I've been writing this on Facebook and Twitter, but I mean, everybody we met were like the super kindest people I've ever met in my life. I mean, everybody was like, even here, like I was talking to the people that were running the show. You know, one of the guys was from South Africa, and he said he lived in Singapore running events in Singapore. And he goes, man, I do events in Saudi, never have trouble. We don't have drunk people. We don't have we never have to call the police. We don't have, you know, everyone's really respectful. He says it's always like smooth going when we do
That's
stuff
awesome.
in around here. Yeah, and Miyako too. She was like, I love it that there's no alcohol. You know, the families were out. You don't get these drunk guys, like, you know, aggressiveness happening. Unfortunately, that is you know, a side effect of alcohol.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't believe in outlawing stuff, you know,
Well, yeah, right.
but I have to say it was really sweet. It was really nice, you know, and like I said, man, I didn't feel like any of like aggression or power play stuff going on. I mean, we were only there for a couple days, you know, so
Right. Right.
but I mean, I was really impressed with what I saw and the people that I met, you know. I mean, check this out. I mean, we walk into this area, I'm like, oh,
That almost
I'm
that shot almost looks like that scene from The Black Hole. Do you remember that?
yeah,
When
I
they're
love the black hole.
You don't?
I love the black
Oh, I thought you
hole.
said you don't like, oh, yeah, but
It's
you
a
know what scene I'm talking
crappy
about, right?
movie, but I'm a big fan of Old Bob.
Old
You
Bob.
know, no one disrespect Old Bob. But
Right.
anyway, like we walk into this area and there's like McDonald's there and other things. And this like there's this DJ on that platform in the background there, that thing
Yeah.
that raises up and down. And I mean, I'm like, you remember that sickness, the pocket monster, the epilepsy thing? In Japan,
Yes.
it's called
Yeah. Yeah, the
Pokemon
Pokemon
Yo is why they were
Porygon
kids are
thing,
getting
yeah.
like epileptic fits from the flashing on the thing.
Oh my god.
I'm experiencing this in this area. I mean, this is like insane. You know, it was like, and this thing is like spinning around like you can't even believe. And like you're like zooming through this tunnel on this thing with this like, you know,
That's super
music
cool.
blasting out of it. Like you know, it was pretty well. We're back in another back at the anime, not the anime village, but outside the anime village. Yeah, so they had like, yeah, I know I'm jumping around, sorry, but this is like I guess a coffee shop, but it says on the top, watashi tachi ga kono machi no kohi. I can't read the bottom. The woman's in the way. It's like and the writing, the handwriting is so like a foreigner wrote that. Like a Japanese would never write it that poorly. It looks like my handwriting in Japanese. So kono this coffee in this our coffee in this village is special. I think it's a special. So I don't know what they're trying. Naze watashi no kohi wa kowatta no de. Why is our coffee different? That's
Now
what it
that's the
says
cat's
here.
meow.
Yeah, that's the cat's meows. And then they have this stuff, like, I mean, set up all over the place, and it's kind of like here in the orange sign there, it just says nomimono, which means drink, drinks, you
Interesting.
know. And then what is it? Tadashi. I can't read that kanji. But Miyako is cracking up at all this stuff, you know. It's more like design, like when you come to Japan and they've got English,
Right.
you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
So it's that kind of thing. And this is like from City Walk looking back. That's our hotel in blue down there. The Radisson there.
Really, yeah.
It reminded me, I lived in Las Vegas in 1979 for years. So it was that kind of like desert flat
Yeah, I was gonna
thing.
say it has that Vegas feel to it. It really does.
Right, right. So that's what it reminded me of, you know.
Any
And
idea
yeah,
what
okay,
that
here,
tall skyscraper is? Like
yeah,
off.
no, it was just another building next to us, you know.
Gotcha.
I don't
Okay.
know
It's just cool.
what it was, you know. And yeah, this is the entrance to the Naruto thing.
That's really neat.
And it says there like and then you know, on the green doors. I don't know, that maybe that's some Naruto thing. And then this is when they were doing some kind of cosplay thing. Can't really see. And then what is this other thing? I think it's called Captain Tsubasa. That's really popular in Saudi, I was told.
Okay.
You see the sports thing on
Yeah,
the
yeah. I'm
it's something called
unfamiliar.
Captain Tsubasa. I'd never heard of it, but I heard of it in Saudi Arabia, you know? So there you go. But yeah, so here's like the cosplay stuff going on.
Oh, hold on. What do we got here? I don't know what that Tadashi Hoko? I don't know. I didn't know if that was something that was in something that we had seen or not. So
Oh, no, I mean, Miyako told me, I forgot what it was. Yeah, so here's some cosplay guys, you know. I mean, they're giving it the college try, you know, so
hey, you know what? By all your accounts and just looking at these photos, it just really seems like they are just having a really awesome time. Like they are really just thrilled to kind of have something like this.
no,
You
I
know what I
mean, yeah,
mean?
no, I tell you, man, like, people were having a good time. People were like, I mean, yeah, it's like they never, you know, it's like, you know, I mean, like what Godzilla fandom was like in the 90s when we
Well,
were
yeah, that's
like,
what I'm
"Oh,
saying.
it's
Like
not
I'm not
just
really
me,"
sensing that
you know, and
cynicism or
before it fractured into all these different hate groups, you know what I mean? I
yeah.
mean, everyone was just like discovering each other, you know, and they were happy to have an outlet, you know, as much as I do dislike G Fest, though I will be a guest at G Fest this year.
Yeah, I was gonna
Um,
say.
you know, I mean, I understand, you know, people's attraction to it. You know, they can go let their hair down and have a good time and be around other like-minded fans and stuff. So yeah, it was that kind of vibe, you know. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was really good. I mean, you know, stuff like this,
that's
you know.
cool.
And then this is like the first night on Thursday. Oh, this is okay. This is what I was told. If I zoom in here, okay, this woman here on stage, I guess back in like the 80s or 90s when stuff like some shows were shown on TV, anime stuff in Japan, she would sing the theme songs in Arabic.
Yeah, that's what you're
And
yeah.
like the guys that were there were like, this woman is a legend, you know, and no one has ever seen her like perform this stuff before. So this was like you can see every phone is out, you know, videotaping this, you know, her performance, you know, and she was like, I mean, everyone was like in heaven, like this woman there. And of course, it's completely different from the original Japanese
Well,
theme
of
song.
course, but I mean, this is like the American equivalent of like, everyone loves the Pokemon song and the person who's saying that is part of their childhood. It's the same thing. I mean, it's again, it is so
Right.
cool that they were able to experience that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
It played a huge
You know,
part
so
in
this
making
was
these
like
people
for
fans of their stuff.
these guys, the guys involved are saying, the Saudi guys are saying, not the Dubai people, because they were just like, I guess the Dubai company is like a professional event company, and they were hired to organize and run the event. But then the people who, had the vision for the thing, they're like anime fans and fans of Japan, and several of the people we met, the interpreters and stuff, they've lived in Japan for years,
Yeah.
so yeah, and they were really like, oh my God, this woman, she can't even believe that this is happening, type of thing. So it was very touching, I didn't get to talk to her though, but I stood by her. I was like, and it wasn't like I don't know who she is, but I could respect, like, looking at other people, how they felt towards her. And it's like, I just want to, well, this is cool, I mean, that's what, so if you travel around the world, you go to these different countries and they've got their own things going on. And like, for us, it's like, what is it? But for them, it's
Yeah.
like, it's their Star Wars, it's their
Totally.
whatever, it's their big thing. You have to give them, even though I don't know what it is, I have to kind of in my own mind relate it that way, and then respect them for, because it's always about like all of this stuff, like Godzilla. I'm into Star Trek, I'm into George Romero films. I mean, it's all about the emotions that it pulls out of you.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what it is. I mean, these things are, I hate to use the word trigger, and I don't mean it in a negative, like triggered in a negative way, but I mean it triggers these feelings, and that's what attracts us to these things. Different, some people are into sports, because that's what brings those feelings out of them. So I have to respect, even though I don't know what it is, but when I see people happy and enjoying themselves, I'm like, yeah, this is cool.
No,
Gotta,
it's super
gotta
cool.
respect it. So
Real quick, sorry
yeah,
I got to interrupt, but this is pretty monumental. Acno, thank you very much for the $50. And I'm sorry that we're streaming while you're streaming, but this was the time that we had set. But thank you very much for the $50. You don't have to do that, but know that I very much appreciate it.
thank you very much for supporting Matt. So anyway, this is like back out. Can I continue?
No, you can't. Yes, go ahead. Go ahead. I have to say thank you to the guy that just dropped a 50 for me.
Sorry. No, and I'm glad. I'm happy.
Yes, continue, please. I
Sorry.
thank you to
Anyway,
the guy.
so I don't know. I took this photo to merry-go-round, but I like how it says San Francisco at Pier 39. These, see up here, like these photos of
Yeah,
San Francisco up here. It reminds me of like Japan. When they have like U.S. stuff, like you go into Mr. Donuts and they have photos of white people enjoying coffee in Manhattan or in Paris.
right,
Type of thing. So anyway, I don't know. The language caught my eye and I took this photo, and hey, look who's over in Saudi Arabia.
What's he doing there? That's cool.
Why am I blanking on the Ghostbusters
It's
character's
Slimer.
name? Slimer, Jesus. Yeah, Slimer. So yeah, Slimer. So, and then look, this is this horror zone we went into. This isn't part of the anime thing, but I mean, look at this collection. We got Addams Family, okay. Hotel Transylvania, okay. Ghostbusters, but Casper?
Casper, yeah. I mean, technically there is a Ghostbuster in Casper, so
Okay, well,
Dan Aykroyd has a small cameo in there.
I saw that in the theater. That was probably one of the films in the 90s that killed me from, like, the movie era is more or is finished.
Yeah.
Casper, I don't know why I saw that in the theater. Anyway, so they had like this horror thing, and they had this guy in this standing on this ambulance. I don't know what was going on there in
Yeah,
this
what?
cheap mask thing.
Weird.
And there's kind of,
It's
you
just
see how it says here,
wild
no
looking.
fear, no limits, no excuses.
Yeah, just with the light, with the building, the background, the lighting and everything, it just looks so bizarre. I love it.
Yeah, and I mean, look at these skeletons hanging
I know,
down.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, this is outside the thing. Yeah, I loved all these like laser lights shooting up into the air and stuff. Like, oh, and this is jumping all over the place. This is at a place called the the Red Sea Mall.
That's awesome.
And so I'm jumping around here. This is okay. This is just
Another skeleton.
yeah, entrance. Actually, I'm down over here. Miyako took this photo.
Oh,
So they have the, the in Japanese they call these tori,
hmm,
these like this
Torii gates.
entrance type of thing. So oh, and here's Miyako. Kind of we got dudded up for dinner. So okay, back going into the horror thing. Sorry,
I don't
my
know what's
photo-
scarier, the guy on the left
or
or
that
the guy on the
or
right.
the guy who needs to go on a diet. But
Oh,
I'm wearing my
stop.
Godzilla shirt there, my Orai shirt.
Oh yeah. Hold on. Let me see if let me. By the way, I'm going to stop you because you'll like this one. $10 from Paul Tackett, who says buy Norman's book Behind the Kaiju Curtain on Amazon. See, we can stop and address that because you should go buy it.
Yeah, let's talk about my book for the next half hour. No, thank you, Paul. Always thank you.
Paul.
I mean, Paul, I can always depend on Paul to at least, if no one's going to be listening to Matt and me talk, I know Paul's going to be here. So I appreciate that.
There's a lot of people I like listening to you talk. And this has
So
been a really fun time because this is just something that not many people will ever get to do. And I think that what you're showing right now, and I know this is a little weird, but I mean, it's a part of fandom history for Saudi Arabia. And honestly, it's really kind of cool to be able to even just experience it through stories and pictures. You know what I mean? I know it's a little weird, but I'm
glad too, because like I said, I mean, I was nervous before going. Miyako was nervous before going. Actually, they wanted to bring Ito Junji with Miyako.
Yeah.
But he's like, well, first of all, it's like the COVID stuff. Like, and he's with Kadokawa, the publishing company, and they're like, we're not letting him go out of the country. They have to decide. But he was also like, because we're good friends with Junji, and he's like, I'm too nervous to go to that part of the world, and we were a little nervous, because it's always, they're like after the Soviet Union collapsed, the Middle East were the bad guys,
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm glad that I went over there and kind of had a complete change of my perception of the place. And if I can share that with other people, I mean, good. I'm happy. I'm very happy to do that, I mean, look at the people. The guy's walking around in a Nike shirt,
I know. Yeah, that's like the second Nike shirt I've seen.
So, it's like that. And I'm going into this horror zone, like, look at this, never sleep again. So I mean, I don't know if it's just Jeddah compared to the rest of the country, but I mean, it was really, I never felt uncomfortable, except for maybe at the airport when I went in,
Right.
But that was nothing. I knew it would be nothing, but anyway, I gotta get this photo off because I don't like looking at myself.
Stop it.
Anyway, they had these balloons. Look at this. I'm like looking at this and thinking of Mysterious Island, the H.G. Wells novel and the Harryhausen film, which I love so much.
The pseudo sequel to 20,000 Leagues. Yep.
No, and the U.S. the movie version takes place in the Civil War, and they escape from the Confederate prison, and
I love Mysterious Island.
I've seen the movie like 25 times. So
you've seen every movie you love 25 times. Sometimes movies that you really, really love 26.
I've seen Dawn of the Dead over 350 times. So there you go.
I believe it.
Oh, I don't know what this. They had a bungee jumping thing, whatever.
Oh, gotcha. I was like, what is that?
Yeah, I know, whatever. Oh, here we are. Here's I think this photo's better. You can see that. Like,
yeah, that's.
I mean, look at this guy over here. Like, and he's like blasting this kind of like
the size of him comparison. How big was that screen?
The thing was huge. I'm walking into this. I'm like, where in the universe am I?
Is that like so? Was that like a projection? Or it must have been backlit, right? Or is it like an actual?
No, it must be backlit or projected behind him because it's not projected on.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know. There looks like it's got to be behind him.
That's
awesome. It was weird. Yeah, and it was doing stuff like this, like. Yeah, they look like big screens around. So
that just looks like Tron now. You're being digitized, going down to the grid.
Right. And then they had these Hollywood areas. So
Oh,
there's the Academy Award.
he looks like Oscar.
Okay, back over there, it just says like kawaii, cute, okay. And then
Sure.
below it, it says Pepsi. So anyway, I don't know why I put this photo, but like, you don't win friends over a salad.
What?
That's advice I give to everybody I meet.
I was gonna say that's like the kind of like really bad Chinese fortune cookie you get from Friday Night Takeout or something.
Exactly what I was thinking right now.
Was that for a restaurant?
I don't know. I don't remember. So this is back at the horror hospital, whatever. And they were doing fireworks over. That's what this photo is about.
Oh,
You
cool.
see this fireworks going off over there. And then, oh yeah, then you walk in, they had all this like creepy stuff on the floor. Like, look at this. You are alone.
Yeah.
Isn't that awesome? I mean, like, triggered. I'm crying.
Yeah.
Here's another one. Like, it's not safe here. And they're like wheeling a baby in,
Yeah.
Here's another. Oh, there's you see that one? It says cannibal. I think here Miyako's point, it says cannibal on the ground.
Like, one right there.
Like what? I don't know.
Like,
In the US you would do something like that. I don't know, but you know what I mean? Like, man, cannibal.
And I like how it's like you're hurting everybody in the direction of
the cannibals.
Cannibal, yeah. I mean, the cannibals got to eat
too. Oh, there you go, cannibal. But anyway, yeah, there we got the Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Oh, certainly the most Saudi Arabian thing that there possibly is.
Right. And we're back over here. And I don't know what that says. Oh, this one says Tokyo ice cream. And we were like, what in the world is Tokyo ice cream? Well, that's what that says there. I think that's my last photo in that set. So let me stop sharing my screen there. So
we have a question for you. How is the temperature difference between day and night?
Well, it kind of reminded me of Vegas a bit. That's why it wasn't like siestas in Mexico, but it seemed to be like people didn't go out during the day. And some people are complaining, like, why are you doing the thing in the summer? I guess it's really like summer over there. So yeah. I would say at night, in the day, it was like anywhere between 100 and 105. And then at night, it was like around 80.
Gotcha.
So it wasn't like cool, but it was comfortable.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I have some video from the event. I was trying to edit it last night. It just wasn't happening. So sorry. I only had with my phone, I shot like 5 minutes or something, like that. So let me get back into these because I've got a little bit more of the actual event that we were involved in. And that was actually the bulk of my photos. But I want to show you the ones from our event thing. So this is like the first night. And you see this guy with the bald head?
Yeah.
Here. And the guy behind him. These two guys are like big, like anime superstar. Like when we were out after the events and we're walking around, people are stopping them for photos and autographs. I'm like, you guys are the main attraction. It's not me and Miyako, I mean, these guys, and then I look on their YouTube, they've got Matt. I'm sorry. Congratulations on 20,000.
No, you know what? Hold on. I'm so everyone comes on here. Everyone comes on to my stream all the time, and I have like one little piece of good news, and they just go, huh, but yet I'm supposed to celebrate everybody else's good news. 20,000K is a big deal, especially for his channel.
No,
So I don't
it
care.
Is. I am.
I was
surprised. I was surprised. My only point is to say, look, these guys they're like insane anime. I said to you guys, so what are you guys like anime fans? They're like, no, we're otaku. So they're like, I mean, look at this other guy's wearing a one-piece shirt, and they've been to Japan and they visited several anime studios and stuff. But I'm just saying, the thing I'm trying to say here, Matt, I'm not belittling your accomplishment, your milestone of 20,000. Congratulations, Matt. I love you. I love your channel. I love being on your channel.
Sorry, I got triggered because it's been happening. It's been
somehow
happening
in Saudi Arabia. They got 600 that showing you the size of it, I don't
500,000?
think people realize, in America or even in Japan, that it's pretty big in Saudi,
Yeah, yeah. I'm sorry I got triggered there. I have to, I'll retreat back into my safe space. It's just been happening a lot lately, you know? I say
into your
something and people are
shell.
just
I'm
like
sorry, I'm not
people are just like, "Oh."
disrespecting you. I respect you. Damn. So,
So anyways, back to your bigger, better
so
YouTube
anyway, so
friend.
like the first night, we didn't even know these guys. The first night I see these guys on stage, I'm like, man, these guys are into it. They're up there singing theme songs and
That's
people are
fun.
going wild and stuff. And then the next night I find out, oh, these are the guys we're on stage with. And these guys are like awesome. This is like backstage before a show. We're like talking and things. So yeah, yeah,
That's
and
really
yeah,
fun.
these guys are like cool. We had a good time. And everybody was like
That's
sweet
fun.
and heartfelt. We were having, yeah, it was good. These guys were, and this guy, the bald head guy, like Saudi has a no touching culture, and he's like, I really don't like being touched and stuff, but I like my brothers to touch me, and then he hugs me. So yeah, I mean, really, everyone was really sweet. This is like on stage. I took this photo,
That's
and
cool.
these guys were, and like, so I mean, we really were like, we were on stage like that. We were supposed to be like an hour, me and Miyako on stage each night. It wound up to be like 30 minutes, which was fine, because they didn't really know. Like I told them, I'm not an anime guy. Really, I'm more like live action. And then they were asking me, wearing the Godzilla suit, and they were translating like I'm sorry, I forgot the guy's names. I'm not good with especially Middle Eastern names, but the guy wearing the Nike shirt, another Nike shirt there. I
Yeah.
mean, he was translating. I was telling him about wearing the Godzilla suit, and I was describing that, and he was translating it, and then he just suddenly stopped, and I'm like, could you translate that? He goes, sorry, I was so enamored by your story that I just like completely forgot. Like he was so taken with my description of wearing the Godzilla suit. So he
That's
was
so
like,
cool.
I'm like, oh, please translate that, And a lot of people in the audience could speak English.
Yeah.
So there I am. There's my old ice shirt. But I think I'm doing, Miyako took this photo. I'm talking about wearing the Godzilla suit there. That's the back of my, isn't that shirt great?
Yeah.
I
That's
bought
really
that
neat.
especially for this show. Someone in the audience took this photo. I found it on Twitter,
That's
and
really
yeah,
fun.
both of us. So the woman next to Miyako was the translator for the first night, yeah. And this is kind of what it was like for us, on stage. So, and she was really, really lovely woman. And she lived in Osaka for a while, and her husband was there too. He could speak very good Japanese. And it's like, whoa, and their English was spectacular, So, yeah, and I took this shot from kind of like this thing.
That's
So,
neat.
me and Miyako
I
there, yeah,
like that.
great time. It was fun, and so, and okay, so that's that folder. Like I said, I have a couple. That was the best way I could like break it down into.
Yeah. No. That's
Hold on
great.
a second. So I'm gonna show you the next night.
RJ says that watching a double feature of 20,000 Leagues and Mysterious Island is a lot of fun.
Yeah, I agree.
20,000 Leagues is a great movie.
So this is the next night. We had different people. This guy, I'm sorry, I don't remember his name. I got his business card, but he like works at a manga company. He's looking to expand the release of Japanese manga. And Miyako just signed a deal to have her first English release of her manga in the US. And I think she just signed one for France, even though France has been
She's getting a release here in the States?
yes. So probably it's being translated right now by a guy in Osaka. And I met him. We had coffee together when we were.
You're gonna have to let us know when that goes up for
I will do
pre-order
that.
so we can get that out because I will be the first one. As soon as that goes up to buy, I will definitely buy it.
Great. And yeah, I mean, so yeah, hopefully it'd be great to release her stuff in Saudi also, in Saudi Arabia.
You even said that you would love to release your book in Saudi, right?
Yeah, right. Well, anyway. I took this photo. These like the snacks over here. Like, check this out. You see these things? These are like
Yeah.
yodel. like we don't have yodels in Japan. I'm like,
They're
man,
really good.
they were like this orange flavored yodels. I was like in heaven. I love yodels. Don't get them in Japan. So anyway, that was that. This is just preparing. This was the translator for, and she brought this, whatever you call these, like scarves for the head. She gave that to Miyako, and this outfit she's wearing, she gave that to Miyako as a present. So yeah,
That's really cool.
very sweet. And this is okay. The guy who was on stage with us, this is his boss doing Attack on Titan.
I love it. I love it.
You know, so
He actually pulled that look off pretty well. Even I know what he's supposed to
right.
be. That's great.
Yeah. And the guy, this guy behind him this guy's Gene. He was like our liaison guy over there. He's from Dubai. Very awesome guy, very sweet guy, real handsome guy.
Paul said it's a hijab, and I should have known that it's the covering.
Yeah. Forgive me too. So, and the second night I washed this between the shows, but I washed this in my hotel room, and then I wore my other shirt on top. I think so I could differentiate in photos, first and second night, you know. And then it's just another photo of us, you know. So yeah, Miyako looks really cute in that outfit. And then this is on stage. I took this photo. This guy's also actor, and his English was good. Very sweet guy. We had a good time the second night, and both nights were a little different, you know. And then the first night they had trouble. They couldn't show my my photos for some reason, which kind of annoyed me. But you know, tech stuff happens, and right. I'm good, you know, on my feet. But that's the photo of me, you know, in the Godzilla costume. And that is how come his name is not coming? You know, the guy who directed Howl.
Yeah, I have it right here.
Why is my name
Daisuke something?
Yeah, Sato. Yeah, so that's actually hit the edge of him because he worked on GMK as part of the suit staff.
That's right.
So, anyway, then after like the first night, we kind of like skedaddled out of there. And then the second night, I was like, I wanted to press the flesh, so to speak. And man, so many people were like taking photos with us and, you know, asking us questions. Everyone was really like sweet and nice and, you know, doing autographs and stuff. It was really fun, cool. You know. So we took a lot. This guy's, his nickname is Peace. And he was really sweet. You know, we follow each other on Twitter now. So yeah, I was happy to pick up some like Saudi pals on Twitter. And yeah, he was really, really sweet guy. I know this is another guy. There was a guy, I was talking to a father. I had a very interesting conversation with this guy. He was telling me that during the lockdown with COVID, his son turned him on to Attack on Titan. He became a big Attack on Titan fan. And we talked a while. It was really like a real sweet conversation. And then when we were done, he's like, you know, thank you so much for like talking to me. You know, it was like that kind of thing, you know, like people really seemed appreciative, you know, of stuff, you know, and I was really, really touched by that. Really, you know, really liked it. So yeah, it was like, just taking photos with people. In this little drawing, this woman made this drawing for Miyako with a heart on it. If you can see, it doesn't zoom in there, but yeah, we have that, like it's now in our living room there.
That's cool.
So yeah, and Miyako doing autographs and stuff, and more with the locals. And the mask situation there was like, you know, more like a personal choice. Japan was still pretty much 95% masked, you know, so kids were there, you know.
It's fun.
And then and this is I had written on the thing, this is her name's Nada. She's the one that wrote that article that you found.
Oh yeah,
she was really, I really liked her. I mean, she's like studying, I mean, she studied English to be a translator. Her English she was like the highest level I met there. Perfect pronunciation. And I don't remember how old she is. I think she's like early 20s and stuff. And she was showing me photos of, I guess there she did some translations. And like, I'm a translator too. So we really had like a nice conversation. Cool. I was really like, good luck with doing this. And I was so happy she wrote that article, included quotes from us, and she was asking me additional questions and stuff. And I think her and Miyako are now linked up on Instagram. I don't do Instagram, but I probably will in the future, because I think I'm going to drop Twitter. I just can't stand that swamp. So, but and they're all swamps anyway. But
Totally.
anyway, I mean, Nada was, and like I wrote, I think on my Twitter, Nada, she goes to me, yeah, my name in Spanish means nothing. I just started cracking up. Like, oh, she had a really nice sense of humor and stuff. Anyway, and yeah, I mean, I wish we could have hung out more with her. I mean, I was really impressed just by her intelligence, her sensibility. I mean, yeah, I really dug her a lot. So I wish we could have spent a little more time, chatting with her and stuff. And then, yeah, it's a photo of us together.
That's fun.
I was pretty dead. I was like dead tired by this time. This is our last night there. We actually have to get up at 6 a.m. the next morning to like fly back out and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, we're gonna finish this up. We're gonna go back to the hotel, and then here's just more with the locals, and then Nada comes up with a guy who was on stage with us, and he goes, "These women are part of this, they're Japanese, and they're part of this thing here. They want to invite you to a Japanese restaurant, and it's like comp. You can eat their dinner for free." And I'm really like, man, I'm like falling off the face of the earth.
Right.
Like, do I want to get in a car, drive around at night with people I don't know, go to like what? And I'm like looking at them, and I'm like, let's just go for it. I don't know if I'll ever be back in Saudi Arabia again. So this guy behind me, so he drove us to this restaurant called Fuji, right?
Did you pick a fight with this robot too?
I picked a fight with this robot. And anyway, I have to tell you, we had the best time. Like,
That's
I'm
so
so
cool.
glad I went. Like, this woman over here, I guess she was like in her early 50s. She's been around. She's been in Saudi for like 6 months. She never wants to go back to Japan, And this other woman here, she converted to Islam. She's been like a kind of, I guess, a college student studying the language, studying culture. She could answer any question about Saudi. So it was very informative. I mean, she just loves living here, so it was really nice. She's holding a sticker of Miyako's art and stuff. And then this guy here, he's been to Japan a bunch of times, and his nickname is Osaka-san, because he really likes the city of Osaka. But he was like a super sweetheart, and I mean, and we had like, why is my picture there? We had like one of the best meals I've ever had. And here, everything is like been flown in from Japan in the restaurant.
Yeah.
I mean, the food was spectacular, and we didn't get home till like 1 a.m, like, oh man. But I'm like,
it was worth it for that food though.
Yeah, it was worth it. And just for the company. I mean, we just had a good time.
Yeah.
And of course, we get fake beer, but that's fine. Whatever.
Yeah.
I really just drink beer for the taste, because I like the taste of it. I don't drink to get drunk or anything like that. So, but we had a really good time. This is at the ending of the night. Oh, these are like I'm saying goodbye at the airport, saying goodbye to the king of Saudi there.
Yep.
And on the thing, oh, now we're back at this. I'm sorry, the order's weird. There's Miyako with a robot. And these are kind of like inside the place. This was some kind of thing that I took this on my phone, so the quality is really bad, but I love this dish.
I know. I love that dish too. That is amazing.
I know everything was good. Everything was
delicious.
Everything was good, and it was all free. They paid everything. Just eat as much as you want. Very sweet. So yeah, if you're in Saudi Arabia, if you're in Jeddah, go to Fuji. I highly recommend. Oh, they have more of those in the back. I want one of those, the shark things.
Yeah, I bet you could probably find it someplace, maybe.
Yeah, so it was like this. No, it was really high quality stuff. I loved it. There's me and Osaka-san. So yeah, I hope I meet him again. I mean, he was really, like, his English was a little spotty, but he was kind of quiet guy. But yeah, really just kind, So yeah, there we are, like going to the airport. the king, well, saying goodbye, come again. Miyako giving her the Vulcan
I
salute.
love it. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and this is like I had more photos. We have to go back to Doha. This guy in front of me, I was telling you about this. Like, he's putting his hand over. I'm trying to watch Licorice Pizza, guy. Get your hand off my screen. Like Miyako and me were just cracking up. At that. And this is more. I don't know. I just took this photo because the color was just spectacular.
Yeah.
This like green color. And then this is over at Doha. So I mean, just this misfit collection of human beings coming off. These were, I don't know where these were not Saudi people, except for maybe the women on the top. But yeah, it was like very different. The plane ride back was kind of a little bizarre, but anyway, and then back in Japan Airlines. So anyway, I just had one more thing. Oh, I have the Godzilla thing. I'm saving that for last. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, you're good. You're good.
I wanted to, let me get back into
I know
this.
she's probably gone, but Kim said she was out to bed. Always great to hear Norman's stories.
Yeah, I know. I me, I go on, and then I'll tune in tomorrow, and Norman's still talking. So anyway, these are just, so we had like on our last day there, we didn't really have to do any more meetings. So we went over to we didn't really see as much as I'd like to, it was really just about being at the event. But we went to this, like the Red Sea Mall. It was like a super shopping mall, so I mean, like Casio watches and weird dolls, like, is this a brand in the US?
I don't
know. I think that I don't know.
It certainly looks like it would be, but I also am not a toy guy. So
yeah, so just weird things. I was taking photos. Then I became a big fan of like all the mannequins there are in, as like high tech as I'd say everything is, like the mannequins are all in these dilapidated states.
Oh, wow.
I was like, oh, this is so awesome, like
looks like you should have gone to that horror part of horror zone,
And then they had things I appreciated this stuff, scarves set up like this, I mean, you don't see stuff like this in Japan, and fish. Cool. I don't know. I like fish on ice. So, and then there was a movie theater. So I went over by the movie theater and they got Sonic 2 and, the new Firestarter, which I hear is awful. Yeah, look at this, like Liam Neeson. And I got this photo with him, like screaming, running.
Yeah.
I will find you, And this is like, there's Top Gun in the back, look at this. It's all like, this is all like cool stuff, I mean, it's just, I love this. It's some, maybe this is a Saudi film, a zombie film right next to this Jujutsu Kaisen, which I don't even know, but it's a Japanese anime film released over there, like,
it's cool.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, here, I'm a zombie fan, so there.
I was going to say, I'm surprised that you didn't take the time to go see this, because that would have been cool to have. I know you didn't have the time. I'm just saying,
right. And there's Harry Potter playing. I don't know, revival or something, So the IMAX. There you go. Here we go. More with the mannequins.
Oh.
So
is it like Cuba where there's like a ban on mannequins and they can only use mannequins like pre-1950?
Oh, really? Is that true?
No, but isn't it like in Cuba, like there was like an automobile thing, like they couldn't import cars, so like all the cars were like, from pre-1960 or something? Or am I totally just making that up?
I don't know, but I don't know.
I just was like, maybe
the deal with the mannequins are, but I was really having a good time. Like, look at this one, and then I'm like, it's got no hand. Like I don't know. I don't know what the deal was, because I know that with the religion, you can't draw the human body.
Yeah.
That's why they have, their art is all very much about design, and they have those beautiful design things, but you're not allowed to, I guess it has to come with idolizing people, to eliminate idols. So maybe like they all have no heads, the mannequins.
Yeah.
Maybe that has something to do with it. You see no heads on the mannequins, and they were all like, look at this one. It's all taped. The hand is taped on, so I don't know what that was all about. But anyway, I don't want to be disrespectful. I don't mean like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm
No,
not
I
like
know, I
making
know.
fun of the place. So
We're just
I
the
was just like
dilapidated
really
state of their
like,
mannequins is kind of
like
funny.
everything was so like, I mean, I wouldn't say it was like everything was super high tech and clean, and I mean, for the most part it was, but it just seemed like really like there was this disconnect between the rest of the place and these mannequins and various stores. It wasn't just one place. So
I'm telling you,
anyway, there you go. You
man.
want your Philly steaks in Saudi
Yeah,
Arabia? You can have them.
even in the malls of Saudi Arabia, there's a Charlie's Philly Steaks.
Yeah,
Wow.
and then here you got your Burger King, and you got your
Hardee's,
yeah, but
Carl's
what
Jr.
Carl's Jr. Because
Yeah.
I worked at Carl's Jr. when I lived in Vegas when I was 19.
Did you
So I'm like,
really?
yeah, I know, but I'm like, oh my God, they've got a Carl's Jr. And actually, what we did, and this is, I think, I don't know, I think it's kind of funny. We got Mexican food. They had like tacos, and we really didn't know the local food, and we were just there by ourselves. Yeah, the
Right, right, right,
driver
right.
dropped us
Stick with
off. We
what
had
you
like
know.
2 hours to wander around, so we didn't really know. I didn't even really know the value of the money, because we were kind of invited very quickly. Like the whole thing happened pretty fast. So, okay, well, we'll get this. I got tacos, unlike any tacos I've ever had, but they had these drinks there, and it said margaritas, and I go to the guy, is there alcohol in this? And the guy's like, in English, he's like, give me a break. Okay, right. I don't know. It's a margarita, I'm just asking, not like I just was like, I guess they do have non-alcoholic margaritas, but I've never really had one before. I didn't buy
Yeah.
it. I just got like soda or something. But then they had this
Um,
Japanese restaurant here, and it's called Wagamama. And I don't know if you know what Wagamama means
it
in
was my nickname in
Japanese.
high school, but what does it mean in Japan?
Oh, in Japanese, it means uh I can't think of the English word. Wagamama, selfish. It means selfish.
So interesting.
Selfish. Hello?
Interesting. No,
Yeah,
I
so
hear you.
anyway, we were cracking. I'm like, this place is called
Yeah,
Selfish.
that's weird. That's weird. Like Wagamama. Fair enough.
Yeah, but no, I mean, looked really good, walking around. Yeah, here, the
Um,
Wagamama menu.
Badre Bali, who, by the way, Badre, great to see you. He's from Egypt, but he said some aspects of Saudi culture are still behind compared to other Muslim countries like here in Egypt. So,
Oh,
I
really?
guess what he's saying is the state of mannequins in Egypt is better than that of Saudi Arabia. Is what he's getting at.
Okay. No, thank you. And I'm sorry if I'm slightly ignorant of the area, So, um, yeah,
The food does look good.
yeah. No, I mean, look good. And I took photo here of, yeah. I really love the outfits. The male like outfits. I don't really know about them, but I thought, yeah, it was fun it's fun to see people dressed
Yeah.
differently.
Well,
You
yeah. I
know?
mean, you're being immersed in this culture that you never thought you'd end up at. So, or end up in, I should say. So, yeah, I think it's really cool to just take in everything, all the aspects of that.
Right. No, so yeah, we had. I mean, I mean, I really wish we had a couple more days to see more of the city, even though it was like I said, it was really hot out there. But
Yeah.
it was kind of like a whirlwind thing. But you know me, I mean, I just like go for it.
Oh, totally.
When I do these things. So, okay, let me get to my last folder. There's not a lot of photos, but they had this like Godzilla zone. So now we can do
And
before I wrap these photos up, we'll do where the hell is the share screen? Okay. So they had this Godzilla zone. So, I mean, we got there, it was like the beginning. They hadn't finished making stuff. So I look at this, and they were projecting images from Shin Godzilla on the outside. So you can see this, right? Yeah, you can
yes.
see this. Yeah, okay. So anyway, so you see like there are these two women, these are like the security women, and they have this barrier up. So I
Mhm.
go up and I'm like, hello. And the woman's looking at me and saying nothing. And I'm like, Godzilla. I'm the Godzilla guy. I'm here from Japan. Can I go in? And she's just looking at me. And I didn't really realize, one, that they hadn't finished the work inside of this, so it wasn't open to the public yet.
Right.
Which is like kind of ridiculous timing since I'm on stage talking about Godzilla, but what are you going to do, you know?
Right. Right.
So I'm like, can I go in? And she's like staring at me. So I'm like, screw it. I just walked in, you know? And then someone came up. I took a couple photos, and then there was like, it's not open yet. And I'm like, you know, I'm a guest here. And I have to say, like, when I went to the Red Sea Mall, like this is a thing called Jeddah season. And it's like a big thing going on in Jeddah. So if I would tell someone, like when I went to the Red Sea Mall, I struck up a conversation with one of the women, security guard women. I talked to her for like 10 minutes. So yeah, I'm a guest at, you know, Jeddah season. She's like, oh, really? You know, that's like your ticket. Like everybody know this event that's going on, and which Anime Village is a part of, you know. So that seemed to be like, you know, like I'm a guest here. Anyway, like we go in like the first night, we kind of walk around for a couple of minutes until they threw us out, you know. And then like the next night I went, and they said it's going to be open by, they'll open it by our last night there, which didn't happen. Yeah. But I went in on after the first night, and there was a guy who could speak English, and I explained, you know, I worked on Godzilla films. I say 2 words in a Godzilla movie, you know, and then he was calling it, oh, this is your zone. This is your zone. So he let me walk around, you know, and then this other woman was like, just staring at me like, this is the guy I can't communicate with, who just pushed his way into the place, you know. So inside is kind of like, so they're changing the outside thing like this. And the guy gave me a little tour of what the play, but I mean, for what I could see, it was already finished, you know. So anyway, I walk in, you know, it's kind of set up like this. They got this nice statue. I don't know where this came from, if it was shipped from Japan. I mean, it must have been, you know.
Do you know if this was like officially coordinated with Toho at all?
It has to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, look at these signs, you know, TM, you know, that it has to be.
Yeah.
I mean, all the stuff has to be licensed somehow, you know. You know, so I mean, it's just this room.
Oh god, yeah, they even have the Godzilla VR stuff there.
So that's the thing I don't think was finished. I think that they were still working on that. So that was like the attraction, was do the VR thing. So, you know, then they had this thing.
That's cool.
Godzilla or Godzilla. Yeah, you got to go in the circle.
Lag Godzilla. Yeah.
Right.
Legodzilla.
Yeah, the Shin Godzilla poster there from, I guess that's like the Chirashi blown up, you know. And yeah, so I just, you know, walked around, you know, there's Tokyo SOS. I'm in that movie.
You are in that movie.
Yeah, so I mean, it was kind of like this. It was cool, you know.
That's really cool.
This is me talking to the guy. And
it's a good photo of you, by the way. Like that's just I don't know. I like that photo a lot.
A Norman doing his Norman thing, you know. So. I'm sorry, Kim's no longer here. Kim, they got a Godzilla 2000 poster there. So, and for Matt, his favorite one, they have Space Godzilla over there.
Space Godzilla is the best. It's better than G14. You know, I'll say that much.
Okay, be careful. You're going to get some legendary fans.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, I forgot. Such incendiary words. I forgot. We're not trying to use trigger phrases this
right. But no, anyway, I mean, it was fun. I mean, it's not really huge, but it was like cool to be in this like all immersive Godzilla zone, you know, over here. So yeah, it was fun. And then I took a photo of the GMK poster and I sent it to Kaneko, and he never responded.
Oh, really? Well, I think that's neat. That's really fun.
Anyway. No, I mean, you know, me and Kaneko, we went to see Shin Godzilla together. Shin Ultraman. We saw that together the other day. So no, I mean, he just does that sometimes. I mean, he's like one of my best pals in Japan. But
right.
You know, sometimes, yeah. I wrote it. Your movie in Saudi Arabia. No response.
No response at all.
No response. Oh, he's in director mode. He's not in Shinsuke mode, you know. So okay, fine, whatever. but I know he's happy, about that. Anyway, yeah, there's like a reverse view. So, and all this, like the, I guess, helpers, I don't want to say security people, they were all dressed like this kind of, I don't know what that's supposed to be, these outfits like this,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So is that like a Naruto thing?
I don't
Maybe
know.
somebody who's stuck around this long nose. But yeah, anyway, it was fun. Look at that. I mean, like Godzilla. I love Godzilla, so it was fun. Oh yeah, and this is that VR thing. So that's what he was saying. Look, and they got it. They got Japanese, English. There's Korean on the bottom, and I guess this is some Chinese on the third line.
This might be a question you might not know, and I'm wondering if maybe if you can just recall just from the images that maybe you saw a flash up there. Was it like that Shin Godzilla VR thing from like 3 or 4 years ago? There was
You mean the one over in Ikebukuro that was up in that department store that like
oh, there was I forgot about that one.
the
There
one
was
where they put like literally they put an Android phone in a holder and it's like an inch
there
from your eyes. If
there
you know,
was
that was
that
like the worst thing ever I've done in my life.
back in like 2018, right across from the Gracery in Shinjuku, there was that VR zone, and they had a Shin Godzilla thing there. It's been since torn down. I think last time we were there in 2019,
Oh,
it
okay.
was gone.
I what I was talking about was a 2014 when the 2014 thing
Okay,
was
no, no, no. This was more recent. I
Oh
just
no,
didn't.
I'm talking no. I'm talking. This was in Ikebukuro, Sunshine City, and they had a thing up on the top, and they had a big Shin Godzilla thing going on, and they had these like Android phones in like a holder, and you put
Yeah,
it over there and do VR. It was like instant headache.
right, right.
You
No,
know?
this one at least at the VR zone in Shinjuku was like a full on immersive thing. I just didn't know if I didn't. I was just curious as to
Okay,
what
I didn't do
direction.
that, so I don't know. It might have been, maybe it was. I think this is what I sent to Shusuke
That's cool.
anyway. Yeah, and that's my, I think, my last photo, and there you
It's
go.
very G84 right there with the red light hitting it.
Right. Yeah, that's the whole thing. So there you go.
That's awesome, man.
Woman's trip to Saudi Arabia.
I thank you very much for sharing that with us. That was amazing.
Oh, so
Moderator,
and then RJ Godzilla 81, that is not a Naruto thing. Okay, thank you. I mean, I don't really know. The other thing, and forgive my ignorance, maybe it's the Grendizer. No, wait. Yeah, I'm looking at this. How do you pronounce that? Badre Bali.
that's how I say
Um,
it. I that's how I've always said it. I don't know if that
okay.
is what he goes by, but
Yeah, no, I heard, and I'm not really an anime guy, I mean, I'm mostly, like I was telling them, I'm not an anime guy. Oh, that's what they were telling me. It's like, can you talk about more anime? And
tell
I like
tell
to, I mean, we're guests there. That's what they
yeah,
want. So I was like, oh, so what I did here, I'll just show, I just the last couple shots, like, so I was
tell the Death
picking out,
Note
I've
story.
been on many movie sets, so I was trying to pick out a couple. I just had a couple like in this folder. So I was like, I picked these kind of photos to try to relate to more anime stuff. So like this is from Death Note 2. This actually, the photo's been, the quality is bad because it was small, but so I was showing this, like, yeah, I was on the set of Death Note 2, Death Note, and the keywords, and people are going nuts when they know the word, Ultraman, nobody knows Ultraman, so that didn't fly. This is from Ultraman Max, and I'm like, Ultraman, I took this photo in Ultraman Max, nobody knows,
That's a
and
great
then
photo.
Ultraman, nobody knows, and then I'm like, Attack on Titan, live action, everyone's going nuts.
That's awesome.
You know what I mean? So it's like, okay, so I was able to, but anyway, so then they asked me, like, the first night, they're like, what accomplishment are you the proudest of? And I'm like, well, I guess I would say for my work with Japanese cinema, I guess it would be, being on hand for 5 Godzilla productions, you know, and writing this book and stuff like that. Then the next day, they're like, can you talk more about anime? I'm like, okay. So then they asked me, what are the thing you're most, proud of. And I was like, okay, I'll tell you. I was in Death Note, the first movie, the live action movie, Death Note. Yay, yay. My name was written in the Death Note book. And even though my character died, I survived. I survived Death Note. And everyone's like, yeah, like laughing and cracking. You know what I mean? Like, it was just reminding me of, have you ever seen the Saturday Night Live skit with Shatner at the Star Trek convention? And
Yes.
when he's
Yeah.
being introduced, the guy's like, this is the Mugatu, and the keyword comes out, and everyone's like, they hear the keyword and they're going like, oh wow. So I
Yes.
was kind of like, had that in mind. No, and it was great. And it was fine because people would like, I had to realize, what they knew was pretty limited, not
Right.
through any fault of their own, just because of the way distribution, has been over there. So that's what you're saying, like Captain Tsubasa. I mean, I don't even know that, but yeah, it was like, man, they're like, this is huge in Saudi. And there was another thing, and I forgot to take a photo. I'm going to expose my ignorance, and even Miyako didn't know, and you might know because you're more of a Henshin Tokusatsu guy than I am. But there was and maybe somebody in the audience knows, but yeah, Kaiju Nora, exactly, connecting with the audience that way. There was they told me, and I didn't know because I'm not a big Henshin Tokusatsu guy. Don't dislike it. I just, never really got into it.
Right.
But there was a show where it was live action. And when they got into the battle scenes, it turned into anime.
Yeah, and I keep on forgetting what that one was. It was there. I think there was a couple. There was like a
But anyway,
dinosaur
this
one.
show, these guys told me that in Saudi, it's like the legendary show.
Yeah.
Miyako's like, I don't even know what that is, and then we looked it up. Oh yeah, it was a show. I was just trying to refresh my memory on it. Maybe somebody knows there, but man, this
Raph
thing
is
is
in
like,
the house. He can probably tell us. Let's look it up just real quick because now it's really bothering me. Oh my gosh, what was that?
but it was no, and I found it very interesting, but and then the guys, like those two anime guys, were like, yeah, this is everybody here, we swear by this show here, we grew up on this show.
Was it Dinosaur War Eisenborg?
No, that's not it. Oh, wait. Huh?
I said Dinosaur War Eisenborg. Is that
Yeah,
what
that's it. It's the Eisenborg. It's the Eisenborg.
Okay.
Yeah. And they were pronouncing it really weird. And I'm like, what? Oh, yeah, it was the Eisenborg. Yeah, it was Eisenborg. Yeah, that's it. Eisenborg. And this morning, Miyako's like, what is the show? She's searching in Japanese. I'm searching in English. I'm like typing in Google, like live action turns to anime, tokusatsu, 1970s. Nothing's popping up. I think it was 70s. And then they showed it in the 80s.
Yeah, he says yeah, I guess it's known that Eisenborg, or in that case, Eisenbog, as he misspelled it there. I just think that's funny.
Yeah.
Eisenbog.
Yeah, but no,
cool.
yeah, they were like, this is huge here. And I'm like, and they don't really know Ultraman, like Ultraman is never like being a New Yorker too. We never had Ultraman when I was a kid. The Hawaiians and the Californians, that's why like fans my age, that are into this stuff from California, from Hawaii, are Ultraman fans.
Right.
The first time I ever saw Ultraman was Midnight Cowboy. There's a scene where he's in a hotel and there's like Ultraman on the TV.
That is one of my favorite movies of all time, Midnight Cowboy.
Yeah, and for whatever reason, like Kaneko went, like one of the first times we hung out, he asked me, why is Ultraman in that? And I'm like, how would I know? But then I remember I had this girlfriend in New York, and someone, I guess I was like 28, and someone sent her from Japan VHS tape that had Ultraman on it. And I'm like, kind of looks like Godzilla. I mean, I've seen Ultraman in magazines, but I kind of like didn't really. And at that time, I was watching Dynaman. If you know
Gotcha.
when they did that kind of comedy thing with Dynaman and the overdubbing stuff, which I don't know if anyone would do it again, because it was sort of almost like the MST3K when they're like that Eskimo detective thing, whatever, which I think is really not appropriate.
Yeah.
You know, that really bothers me now to watch that, but yeah, I don't think that a show like that would fly anymore, because they're kind of, I wouldn't say they were purposely being racist, but it was just the way the era was back then,
Right. Yeah, totally.
But I knew Dynaman and stuff, but other than that, and so I was vaguely aware of the Tokusatsu stuff. Really, I'm just into like Godzilla and Gamera, was like that's what they were showing, we had access to, especially like when you're talking the 1960s and the 1970s, when VHS tapes do not exist. None of that existed. Back in 1960s when I was a kid, I had like a cassette player when Panasonic released those, rectangular shaped things, and I was like, and then I had this idea. I said, if you could make a tape like this, a cassette tape like this, that you plug into your TV and you can record the TV shows, I bet you'd make a lot of money, and
Little did you know.
Little did I know, I was ahead of my time. But anyway, yeah. And now we're beyond that, we're
Yes.
UHD, so, but anyway, yeah, no,
What are you reading?
oh, look at that. Yeah. How do I pronounce it? Nshoma?
Yeah.
Well, and yeah, Nshoma's got, some good information there. And that's another thing. As soon as we got to Saudi was on the news in Japan, because like one of the princes just bought a ton of Nintendo stock.
Yeah.
Because he's a big anime fan, a big, otaku nerd guy. So that was like, I think, another thing that kind of
it's really cool.
Thank you very much.
Kaijutopia is in the house. He says, always a pleasure to hear from Norman.
That's right, Paul, USA Night Flight. Yes, thank you, Kaijutopia. Thank you for listening. No, I mean, yeah, I used to watch that, and I think I had some VHS tapes of it, but I found it very funny at the time. But I didn't really know that whole like Henshin, like Dyna Pink and Dyna Blue and Dyna, whatever. That was my first exposure to that kind of thing. But that was like when I was in my later 20s or something like that. So, I'm sorry, I mean, I feel ashamed. I'm talking to the people who know this stuff, and I'm really, it's really,
yeah. Well, they might be the people that know this stuff. You're the person who worked on this stuff. So,
well, I worked on Godzilla, and
you were on this Ultraman.
I was actually telling someone the other day about going to the Ultraman Max set for the first time. Like, Kaneko called me, I'm doing this show, Ultraman Max, I'm one of the head runners on the thing. I'm working with Yagi, on the thing. And I've met Yagi before. He's like, why don't you come down? So, I go down. I should show photos one day from my Max stuff. So Kaneko's doing the pilot episode. So I went over to Toho Biruto, which was like a sister studio of Toho's. So you have like the Setagaya studio, which you have been, where the Godzilla statue is and stuff. And then they had this other smaller offshoot studio that I guess if you walked, it would take like 15 minutes to get to, and I was in a TV commercial once, just as a foreigner in the background. Horrible experience. Never do another I never did another TV commercial after that. But anyway, they were shooting Max up there. So I go in, I watched some of the live action. That's when I met the actress who played the android in it.
I've never seen Max, so
she became a big actress in Japan.
Look, Paul just sent $5. He wants that Ultraman Max stream now as well.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, I don't have a lot of Max stories, but anyway, so my one interesting story though is, so I go in. I mean, I can show photos. Maybe we'll just do like various photos that Norman has taken episode. But so I walk into the so I was, on the, the main set, met the actors, taking photos. I think that's when I met actually Yagi for the first time, watched Kaneko do some setups and directing. And then I'm like, okay, I'm going to go. They're shooting the special effects. So I'm going to go over to special effects set. So I walk in the special effects set and I'm like looking at this set and it's like a flat ground. And then there's like this thing in the background, which is like, I like to describe it as like the Batman on the title card, like the cutout of the city with holes in the thing. And they literally have Christmas lights just draped over the thing. And I'm like looking at this thing. And some of the guys on the set are, Godzilla staffers that I know. One guy comes up and he just goes to me, Norman, this isn't Godzilla, and I guess they all knew because the look on my face was like, confused,
Yeah.
That's how I can mildly put it. Is I was very
Right.
confused by what I was looking at, and like, oh, okay,
That's fun.
now I get it. So
Odd.
no, but it was fun. So yeah, I watched the Max stuff, fighting and stuff like that.
Hikari
Oh yeah, Mitsushima
Mitsushima.
Hikari, right? Thank you. Sorry, that was like she became I mean, she's everybody knows her in Japan now, but she was kind of like a Kaneko discovery, and she used to be. She's from Okinawa, and she was in a singing group called Finger Five, and then she's in as a little girl. She's in Mothra 2.
Oh,
She's
cool.
like and then she didn't do anything, like movies after that. I mean, after Mothra 2, man, I tried watching that like half a year ago and I had to give up.
I hate to do this. We might need to wrap this up. I think my puppy just escaped his confinement, and I think I hear
Okay.
him
Anyway,
running out
we've been
upstairs.
at this for like 2 hours, so that's always, But anyway, yeah, and I just want to say Hikari was very sweet, and then she was in Death Note, and I was trying to get a movie
Here,
going, and she was
keep
going to be
talking. Keep talking. I'll be back. Okay, I'll be back.
Hello everybody. I'm going to do my Wayne's World. This is now Wayne's World, when Wayne walks off and Garth is all by himself. If you remember that. Hello. I have a plastic fork here. No, anyway. But like no, I like Paul, I don't know. I'm looking at anyway, I was talking about Mitsushima Hikari. Yeah, she was very nice, and I was going to make this I had this science fiction movie proposal and she agreed to be in it, but that never happened. So yeah, gosh, you told me Norman has taken over, right? No, I'm very talkative, but I get very nervous when I'm by myself. Oh, here you are. You didn't even get to hear my awesome way I explained this. It was like, this is like in Wayne's World when Wayne, it goes off and Garth is left by himself.
Yes.
That's exactly what it was. So everyone got to see like Norman like has taken over. So
well, look, Evan, who by the way helped with the latest Ultraman video, did a fantastic job. Says the Norman Power Hour. We need that. We're all ready for that.
Well, especially now, my voice is is cutting out. But and another thing I wanted to say, we can do like a teaser. I found this box. Did I say that the last time? But like, look at this gem I found in my box.
What?
Can you identify this?
Hold on. No. Whose claw is that?
This is a piece of King Ghidorah when it was like the giant head breaking through the ice in GMK.
Oh, geez, dude.
Could be like a horn I could wear. But anyway, no, I found a box with a bunch of like set goodies that I had like taken. Actually, I think I wrote it in my book when I said there was like the kaiju. Actually, I scribbled with a magic marker on the bottom. Isn't that like sacrilegious?
It is
It looked like I was writing my name on that. I don't know. I think not Wakasa, Shinada was throwing this out. He was throwing some stuff out. I was like, can I take it home? And he goes, anybody else, I'd say no. But he let me take some stuff home. And I think I wrote like with me and Taguchi when we were like picking up scraps, and they called it the kaiju garage sale, because Taguchi was picking up stuff to use for his first movie, the movie G. I don't know if you've seen G, but that was like his first film. And
I love this. There's two of these things right here. Matt missed some of the most incredible insights into all of Tokusatsu when I left you alone, and Evan follows
that's
up
true.
with
I spilt the beans. I shared it
yeah,
with them, but I'm not
yeah, and
sharing
he
it with
followed up
you.
with Evan says he basically ascended to a new level after hearing.
Yeah, no, I mean, really, I mean, there's stuff I shared it with my bros and sisters over here, and not with Matt. You know,
That's okay. It's okay. I mean, I'm just
they now know the secret of Tokusatsu.
I'll I was
But
gonna make
anyway,
it.
no, I mean, maybe like 2 hours is kind of like, and my throat is going.
Yeah, no. We can definitely wrap this up. And my wife is working tonight, so I gotta go take care of the dogs because dogs are very needy. I do love them, but they can get a little annoying sometimes.
They're
Um,
demanding.
but
Wait
thank
till
you,
you have
Norman.
children. Not like I would know, but
Right, right. Oh no, trust me, we're getting to that point, and it
yeah.
it'll be interesting.
And they'll never hear, and
Um,
never, and we never heard from Matt again.
there's a real possibility of that happening.
Yeah.
Um, thank you very much for coming on here. I really appreciate you, sharing this. And like I said, this is something. Not only was it just an insanely cool, once in a lifetime experience for you, but it's something that I know that myself and many other people that are here would never have guessed, or have seen before. To be able to take a kind of a peek into that world and really see kind of like a I don't want to say like a fandom in its infancy, but like seeing like the start of these conventions. Because if that's really like among the first that have popped up in say like Jeddah or something, I mean that really
Right,
is
right, right.
a special time, for fandom for them, and I think it really comes out in that. So thank you so much.
No, like I said, I mean, for me, it was kind of an eye-opening experience, and yeah, I was glad to be there. Like I said, it kind of had this little. Of course, now we have the internet and stuff, which makes the dynamic different. But it did remind me of like that '90s good times,
Yeah.
back in the '90s, you know. But and I wanted to tell Enoshima, no, I prefer Hocus Pocus to Casper any day of the week. So. And let's face it,
Oh
those
boy.
are awful. Casper is like, yeah, I don't even remember anything about it. All I remember was walking out of the theater going like, I gotta stop seeing every movie that's what the 90s was. I mean, like the 70s and the 80s was like it came out, I would see it. It summer blockbusters, which really started with Jaws. I saw Jaws opening night, Friday, Saturday night, Sunday night. It was like there was a whole new phenomena seeing films right away the next night, and then I went the next weekend. I was when repeat viewing was born. And back then you'd have like 8 blockbusters for the whole summer, and you could see
Yeah.
them all. And I'd see everything, but 90s was really like I keep going to the theater, I'm like, Speed, whatever, you know, Casper, whatever. Twister, whatever. You know what I mean? It
Twister
was,
was fun back in the day.
you know what I mean? I mean, they
I
were
know
and
what you mean.
with that like CG that just wasn't cutting it. When they made that switch into CG, and the CG just really wasn't up to snuff. I mean, maybe Matrix was an exception. I mean, that was really more like the kind of feeling that you had back in with the bullet time type of stuff,
Yeah.
things you hadn't seen before. But the 90s was like how I cured my going to the cinema addiction. I was just not like there were awful movies, but they were just like bland, nothing's, it's just, am I getting old? I'm like, I'm only in my like early mid 30s, So, but anyway, yeah, Casper was another one of another nail in the coffin, So,
Well,
anyway. But
you
anyway,
are, as far as I know, you still are the only guest on this live stream ever in the almost 10-year history of the show to wear a Casper shirt. Did you remember
oh
that?
yeah, I wore my
Yeah,
that's
you had your
Casper, the animation thing. I had my Casper thing, which I got, it was at H&M when I was in Kyoto. And I
yeah.
love my Casper thing. I didn't wear it enough this past winter, but I need to like go out in a bar wearing Casper. That's one thing I gotta say that's awesome about today. Clothing has really changed. It's become much more relaxed since I was a
Yeah.
kid. It's like if you've seen the Spielberg film, the DiCaprio one, the
Uh,
airplane one,
uh,
um,
or yeah, Catch Me If You Can.
Catch Me If You Can. One of the things Spielberg was trying to do was like when you rode in a plane in the 60s, it was like an event and people wore suits and you dressed up, and now people go and, they have fights on planes. You
Yes,
know what I mean?
and
But,
attack flight attendants. Yes.
like, yeah, when I was a kid, we would dress up, even in the 70s, you're ironing your shirts. You don't go out in, shorts. You go out in pants and your shirts are ironed even up until the mid 90s. And then it became more like t-shirts and shorts and wrinkled shirts and no one cares. So I'm sometimes I miss the old ways, but like I would never have been caught dead in New York in the 80s wearing a Casper sweater. But now I can wear it and people don't get like, man, are you okay? People are like, oh, that's awesome. That's cute. It's
I
like
fall
now.
into the "Are you okay?" crowd. I think I asked you that the first time I saw you, and I'm like, "Are you all
No,
right?"
but I mean,
I know,
people
I
don't
know.
people don't look at you weird when you wearing a shirt like this or
No, I
my
understand.
old
Right.
eye shirt. I mean, we didn't have stuff like that. I mean, if you wore too dynamic like that, people would be like, okay, this guy is like nuts. But now we don't blink, we don't blink at stuff like that, really.
Right.
That's why I thought my Casper one, I'm trying to push the envelope on that thing. So I
Do it.
found
Yeah. Be the trendsetter.
Casper sweater. I love my Casper sweater. So
All
anyway,
right. On that note, I think the
on a
Casper
Casper
sweater.
note, anyway, I want to thank everybody, that stuck with it and listened to my story, looked at my photos. It was fun. This is a little more of like a personal thing rather than, I haven't I don't even have my book here to shove in your face.
I do.
That's your job there.
Yeah.
That's your
Go
job.
go
So,
go buy the book. It's an amazing book.
I
The
mean,
best
yeah.
written thing in the English language about the genre. Go pick it up. It's
So,
fantastic.
anyway, thank you everybody, and I hope to join Monstrosities again when they hit 500,000
Yeah,
subscribers.
yeah, yeah. It's the next time it's gonna end up we're gonna end up seeing you, so
Yeah, so it's never see you again. Anyway.
all right,
No,
man.
people. I actually personally think 20,000 is an insult. You should, for the amount of work you do, the quality work you do, you deserve more followers and more people that tune in. I
And
don't
again,
get it. I don't get it.
I really appreciate the kind words. I'll explain when we get off of here why I acted the way I did. I was having fun with you, but at the same time was also forcing it. I'm like, I know it's not a big number, but it's a milestone for us. It took us a while to
No,
get there.
no, no. I mean, it's good. I even noticed it. Like, oh, they went over 20,000.
Yeah, yeah.
Great. You know.
But all right, man. Thank you again so much, everybody. The book is Behind the Kaiju Curtain. It's all right up there, right there. Journey on to Japan's biggest film sets.
And
Please,
thank you, everyone. I see your sweet comments here too, and shout out to everybody. Thank you very much. So,
you guys have a great night, and we'll talk to you soon. And Norman will be here very soon too. And yes,
and
Norman.
holding my nobody knows my almost like a piece of like
What?
it was in the garbage actually over at Soho. So
Real quick, what was the salad wisdom again on the side of the building? Do you remember what it was?
you can't win fight. No one won a fight over salad.
Yes, yeah, you never won friends over a salad or something
You
like
never
that.
won friends over a salad, right?
That's the last bit of advice that we're going
You
to leave you
don't
with.
win friends over a salad. I just said
Yes,
it. You don't
yes.
win friends over.
Always remember that advice. So, with that said, see you later. Good
Okay,
night,
thank
guys.
you.